Hey guys, what's going on? Yeah, so for me it's 5:08. Uh-huh. Thank you guys for the hearts and stuff. I was about to say the thingies. Oh, I don't need these on anymore. I did my sound check. Um Thingy from the Proud Family. Thingy, 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 thingy. Now I want to see that episode. Wasn't she flying down out of a helicopter? They was like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, now introducing Thingy. And she was in a costume and she came helicoptering out. And it was like, Thingy, Thingy, hey, Thingy. I'm like, dang, I don't know if I would ever want to be lowered out of a helicopter dressed in a costume. Because what? How would they, if you have a full-fledged costume on, how would they properly harness you in the costume? How would they harness you in the costume without you accidentally sliding out of the ropes? I need to know that question, y'all. Hold on, I'm getting ready to go look it up. I'm about to look up a question first. My first question has nothing. My first question has nothing to do with celebrity news. What's most important here is how in the world, how do people, P-E-O-P-L-E, wearing, how can I say this? Costumes get safely harnessed out of a flying helicopter, or should I say hovering helicopter. Now this I'm ready for. According to AI overview, safely exiting a hovering helicopter while wearing a costume involves strict premeditated procedures to manage both the weight of the suit and the dangerous high winds. Y'all, I didn't even factor in the high winds. Oh man, I forgot to I forgot to factor in high winds. Can you, Chosen Fire, thank you for your compliments, but can you please leave room for other people to chat? Thank you so much. So once again, safely exiting a hovering helicopter while wearing a costume involves strict, premeditated procedures to manage both the weight of the suit and the dangerous high wind environment created by the rotor blades. Now, we're not even talking about high winds from Mother Nature. They're just talking about high winds from the doggone helicopter blades. Did you guys ever... Man, I didn't think about that. So that's a double wind impact. Now, in the Matrix, when I saw that the helicopters had a force to be reckoned with, is when Neo got out on top of the roof in the effort to save Morpheus. And like the wind was blowing them back. Was it because Trinity was flying the helicopter and they ended up on the roof somewhere? So I saw the wind blowing their cheeks and stuff back. But I didn't think about it that way, y'all. It just didn't make sense. So that's a double win. Depending on the scenario, such as a stunt, military-style insertion, or a public event, people in costumes are generally garnered from a hovering helicopter using the following methods. What's going on, Tarsus? High five. Bam. Welcome in. Good morning to all my cool peeps. I know the title said I'm supposed to be talking about celebrity news, but I got sidetracked as usual. No thanks to this guy and me talking about a character. Now, I want to know the safety precautions involved in hovering a person dressed in a full-on costume out of a helicopter. Like, that's got to be dangerous. It's got to be scary. And what makes me think of the reasons why it's got to be scary and dangerous is because the costumes are typically, slippery. It's a costume. How are they going to harness you on anything? So, here it is. Depending on the scenario, such as the stunt. Excuse me. I haven't even drank any of my tea yet, and I'm already belching. Hey there, how you doing? There we go. People in costumes are generally garnered from a hovering helicopter using the following methods. Y'all ready for the following methods? Number 1, low hover exit, the jump. Now we jumping out of the helicopter for costumes that allow movement. The most common method is a low hover exit. Altitude. The pilot brings the helicopter to a stable hover. A stable hover. Example. Be still, you're moving too much. Be still. Dun, dun, dun. Oh no. Cut the camera. Well, as you can see, something happened on the show, and we'll be right back after these messages. I'm doing well, Tarsus. Thank you so much. Welcome into Freestyle Thursdays with Elay. Hi, I'm Elay. Duh. Lower hover exits the jump. Altitude. The pilot brings the helicopter to a stable hover at a very low altitude, typically 3 to 15 feet above the ground. Question number 1. Are you guys interested in jumping out of a helicopter? Number 2. Procedure. A crew member or safety spotter inside the helicopter confirms the area is clear and signals the costume person. If you're in the costume, guys, how are you going to see them signal anything? How are you going to see that? Action. The person steps out into the skid. Like we're walking the plank. This isn't making this sound all that fun. First, we're talking about high winds. Number 2, the winds from the helicopter blades. Number 3, they expect you to turn around and see the spotter. How you gonna see the spotter if you were in a full-fledged costume? Number 4, now they're talking about walking on the skid. All I know is skid row and walking the plank, and neither the two sound fun. And then in addition to that, I'm high in the sky in a helicopter. Now, do this sound promising to anybody? Are you still willing to jump out of a flying helicopter in a full-on costume? I'll wait. And don't let me have to get to the part where they say you got to sign a waiver just in case things go left. I'm done. We've got procedure. A crew member or safety spotter inside the helicopter confirms the area is clear and signals the costume person. The person steps out onto the skid, crouching low to keep away from the main rotor blades, and jumps to the ground. AI overview, thank you so much for your information. If we had to do a recruitment right now to get people involved in booking programs to have people leap out of helicopters for a personal vacation experience, Word on Reader right now will be a sure shot deterrent. Hi, boys and girls and family. Welcome to Helicopter Plus. For your summer adventures, why don't you and your family book an experience to jump out of a helicopter? And then you know how they have those medicine commercials where they say, this medication may probably save your life. And then they read a 5-minute long side effects. Well, the side effects for jumping out of a helicopter on a warm, sunny day during summer vacation with your family and friends, it will be like this. For $49.99, you and your family can jump out of the helicopter. Exceptions include high winds, possibility of getting decapitated, not being able to see when it's time to safely jump out of the airplane. Did we mention the other winds coming from the fan blades of the helicopter? But never worry, all is well. What did y'all just say? What did y'all just say? Nothing. It's gonna be fun. Get on in. Let's do this. But first, sign this. Get me off this helicopter. Get me off this helicopter. They'll be like, going up. No! We're going up. Carrying on. Safety. The person must move away immediately from the helicopter to a crouch position to avoid the rotor, wash, and the tail rotor. Now, how many rotors are on a helicopter? Because I keep seeing one rotor after the other. Rotor, rotor, rotor. Rotor. Rhoda, I see your question. No, I'm not going to speak on that, but thank you for asking. Maybe 2 rotors? Yeah, because I'm getting lost in the sauce, and I heard rotor mentioned 3 times. So in my mind, I'm like, that's 3 rotors. That's 3 rotors too many. It's a helicopter, not an airplane. Why do we need so many rotors? Now, I didn't go to helicopter school, quite obvious, so why does a helicopter, being that it's way tinier than an airplane, why do it need 3 rotors? A boat only has 1. So why is a helicopter? Why do it? Don't go down that rabbit hole, Elay. Don't you dare go down that rabbit hole. It's too early. It's too early. I know it's too early. I think you need to go in there and fix those dang old pancakes. I'm going in there to fix those dang old pancakes. It's too early for this, Elay. It's too early. It's too early. I agree, but I'm stuck. I'm stuck because I done brought it up. Yeah, he's back. He got safely off of the mothership, unfortunately. I asked the aliens I asked Buckethead to pass a message on for me, so that if he gets stuck on the mothership on Baskethead on Wednesdays, to just leave him on there till next Wednesday. But he made it off somehow. Well, there's a will, there's a way. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for the helicopters. Hercules saw Jaws eat a helicopter once. Of course he did. You know, Jaws is Hercules, one of his inspirations. Speaking of Hercules, I actually spoke with him on the phone yesterday. Yeah. Please hide his saltines. Those should be given out as prizes. You know, like when your pets do a good job. He not gonna like that. I'm saying this, glad he's not in here. You know how you give your pets a treat? That's how I think I should distribute the saltine crackers. Hey, what's going on, Joseph? High five. Bam. Good morning to you. Thank you for coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. Continuing on, guys, how much more information do I need to convince me not to jump out of a helicopter in a full-on costume? Well, AI overview, you doing a good job. Moving forward, what y'all? I done lost my place. Mechanism. The person wears a secure harness under the costume. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So they're going to put the harness underneath the costume. All right, the harness underneath the costume. Thank you so much. Clipped to a long, thick rope hanging from the helicopter's cargo hook. Insertion. The helicopter flies slowly. Really? How can a helicopter fly slowly? Have you guys ever seen a helicopter fly slowly? Now, when I'm watching Cops, the helicopter be zooming. And when I see helicopters flying in the sky, they be zooming. It seems like they only have two settings, fast and faster. Have you ever seen a helicopter outside of watching Miami Vice? But they probably used CGI to make the helicopter look slow for aesthetic purposes. Have you ever seen a helicopter fly slow? I thought the whole reason of getting anything flying was to get there quick, fast, in a hurry. I didn't get in the airplane so I can slow around to see the sights. I'm in this airplane so I can hurry up and get there faster than the car. Now you mean you want to take your time? Here he comes.
Elay's logic is undeniable. Elay's logic.
You have something on your face.
Elay's logic is undeniable.
You have something on your face.
I do.
Yeah, hang on. Let me help you. Let me help you.
I've been out here with stuff on my face.
I just told you though, I just saw it. And if you was in there fixing those pancakes, this wouldn't have even happened. Moving forward, please go in there and fix those dang on pancakes. Thank you. It's the Star Wars cup. Extraction. The reverse is used, lifting the person in their costume up from the ground to the hovering aircraft. Now that might sound fun. You know, goodbye everybody, thanks for coming in. Lift me up. Boom, out of the mob of people. Safety measures for costumed individuals. Securing the costume, visibility and hearing. Briefing. Don't you think the briefing should come first before all the scary instructions and possibilities of what could happen? I think so. Securing the costume. Any loose parts of the costume, capes, masks, tails, must be secured. Take down or removed. Oh no, removed. How do you remove a portion of a costume? Because the costumes that I see, they all come as one thing. So they would definitely have to be taken down. So it must be secured, take down or removed. The intense wind downwash from the helicopter can snag loose items on the aircraft or whip them into a person's face. Visibility and hearing. Y'all, it says visibility and hearing. How come that sound like some type of doctor's office? Hi, and welcome to Visibility and Hearing. How may I help you today? Yeah, I have an appointment for an eye test. Your name, please? Hercules the Shark Granddaddy. Oh, come on in, Hercules the Shark Granddaddy. Visibility and hearing. It'd be like one of those dual offices. One side is for your vision, and the other side of the office that's cut in half is for hearing. A double office. Double office. Briefing. A mandatory safety briefing is given to the consumed. Wait. A mandatory safety briefing is given to the costume person before the the costume person is when I read the costume person, it makes it sound like it's a completely whole new entity. Watch out, y'all. Here comes the costume person. I don't want them sitting next to me at lunch. Here comes the costume person. I'm out of here. A mandatory safety briefing is given to the costume person before the flight to ensure they know how to interact with the helicopter. So is the helicopter alive? Chucky is alive and I can prove it. What? Chucky is alive and I can prove it. What are you talking about? He bit me. Chucky bit me. Okay, security, I think we need to handle the situation down here. Oh, man. I was not intending to be talking about helicopters, y'all. It just happened. My original intention was to talk about female celebrities, but I done got stuck on talking about jumping out of a helicopter. So here we are. I'm into the thick of it. A half hour in, thinking this is going to be one tiny question, and it's not happening like that. So what I'm going to do really quickly to cover my own rear end is put something about a helicopter in the title so I won't get in trouble for clickbait, because I'm still running off at the mouth about helicopters. Helicopters look like fish, the way they're shaped, you know? They're shaped like fish. They fly in the sky. They've got goldfish, you know, with the little, minus the wings or whatever it's called, minus the fins. Live, here's my video. So I'm looking for it. And, where is it? I had to refresh the page. So what I'm doing is going into YouTube Studio so I can update my title. From female celebrities, see if I can squeeze in here female celebrity news, jumping, and oh my goodness, don't do that. Okay, I caught my mistake. Get out of there. Okay, female celebrity news and jumping out of a helicopter. My Grammarly has not kicked in. Helecopto. Oh my gosh, how do you spell helicopter? I have to look over here on the other screen. Helecoptor, something like that. Helicopter is spelled H-E-L-I. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Helicopter. I thought helicopter had two eyes. Female celebrity news and jumping out of a helicopter in costumes. All right, I did my title update. Helicopter, Helicopter. Thank you so much. I thought it was like HELE or HELACOP. You see the dilemma. Moving forward, thank you so much. I updated the title now so I don't get in trouble. I'm glad I thought to catch that because I'm going back to talk about the helicopters now. Hello, bam. How are you guys doing today? I'm going to minimize this because I want to see. Here it is. So emergency, after the briefing, they talk about the emergency rapid insertion. Now this is creepy because all of this information is a briefing of what could happen while jumping out of a helicopter in a full-on costume. Hello casting, repelling. Hello casting sounds like Hello Kitty, and I like Hello Kitty. For water-based X's, y'all, they're taking it up a notch. Who was jumping out of a helicopter in a full-on costume? In addition to that, jumping down into some water. Who jumps out of a helicopter to be on some water? Only the people who work at SeaWorld. I'm a regular person who is inquiring about jumping out of a helicopter, not jumping out of a helicopter into some water. Hello casting. For water-based X's, the helicopter flies very low over the water, approximately 10 feet. I'm short, so 10 feet is high. That's like a 2-story building for me at a slow speed. How do you jump out of a helicopter at a slow speed? Once you jump out of the helicopter, it's a long way down. Exactly. Thank you so much. Where I'm at, I am getting lost. In my mind, on this live stream, on this public live stream, that's where I'm at. Trying to figure out why they got to make yogurt nights so difficult. I asked one simple question. And now AI overview putting in scenarios about, well, if you're jumping over water 10 feet above the ground. For water-based X's, the helicopter flies very low over the water, approximately 10 feet, at a slow speed, allowing the person in a costume to jump into the water. Why are we jumping? I can't. I'm starting to get a headache. It's like I'm doing math. It's just y'all, this don't make sense. If I'm in a full-on costume, why would I want to jump into the water? The costume is heavy enough. I can hardly see out of it. I'm jumping out of a flying helicopter, and then you want me to jump down into some water? It's gonna make it 60 times heavier. We need a whole nother briefing on how to survive the possibilities of not making it out of the water in a full-on costume. Who's jumping out of a helicopter in a completely covering full-body costume into the water? I'm getting dizzy. Y'all know, like on the Lego movie, when Lloyd made those inventions where they were just so stupid it made their brains break. That's what's happening to me. It's like I'm at Lloyd's house from the Lego movie, and I'm reading through his computer of all the inventions that he's got out, and I'm like, double decker couch. I'm like, how you expect us to get to the top? All moderation positions have been filled. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you guys for the comments and stuff. I'm just lost, guys. It is really giving me SAT vibes. Like when I had to take the SATs, I was in there like, I'm surprised I didn't pass out because the questions were too hard. They didn't make sense. I'm thinking, what does this have to do with life? I could care less if I pass the SATs because I'm going to a community college. So what are we doing here? Can I not take the SATs? If I don't take the SATs, will I not be able to get my diploma? Apparently the answer was yes, because I was in there suffering in silence. Hey y'all, how are you doing? Thank you guys so much for coming in. All I wanted to know was a simple question. For water-based exits, the helicopter flies very low over the water, approximately 10 feet at a slow speed, allowing the person in costume to jump into the water. I'm lost. Why would you want to jump into the water and you have on a fully ensemble styrofoam costume where your head is covered, your arms and your feet and your legs are covered, your whole body is covered? I'm thinking Mascot situation. Have you ever seen a mascot on football come flying out of a helicopter? They can barely do the splits without tearing up something. So what makes you think a mascot is going to be able to successfully jump out of a helicopter on live TV for the world to see? And then you want her to jump into some water?
Talk about setting someone up for failure.
Hey, who you telling? I am drinking tea. Well, that's a test for the Navy. That makes sense because it's one test leading to something that's promising and possibly guaranteed. I'm talking about the SAT. I'm about to graduate from college. I technically don't have to continue my education. All I had to do is get my diploma, and if I'm happy with a factory job before factories started to become unstable, if I'm happy making a living for the rest of my life, working my way up, working at McDonald's, because it's easy to work your way up into a manager spot at McDonald's, and I'm cool with that, and I don't want a lot from life hours expenditures. What are we really talking about SATs for? I don't need it. I'm good. SATs. Sounds like Daredevil. Exactly. You know how the Super Bowl is coming. I think for the entertainment, we should have the mascots do that. Which mascot will successfully jump out of a helicopter and land on target? And after the mascot successfully dives out of the helicopter, lands on this spot, I'm expecting it to do a 3-minute dance presentation. Now that will be entertainment. Y'all, there's still more to read, and I've done talked about this for almost an hour. What more could they possibly say? But that's what I'm saying. The funny thing is you will pass. Well, that's a bona fide guarantee. That's better than the SATs. When I was growing up from high school and carrying on, If I wanted to go directly to a fancy schmancy college, the SATs rely heavily on that. Well, I'm like, that's not going to happen. We've got repelling. If a higher, more precise insertion is needed, the person may rappel down the rope through, though this is difficult in a bulky costume. Who's rappelling down the rope from a helicopter? Now I'm starting to get lost. I thought, you guys, if I'm in a full-on costume jumping out of a helicopter, aren't they supposed to lower me down? You know, like the rope. This is the rope. They're lowering me down the rope. The helicopter. I'm in the costume, right? And I'm swinging around looking crazy in my costume from the helicopter. This is the basis of what I've got. So what are they talking about? The person may rappel down a rope. Which one is it? Or I'm going to get bungee jumped out of there. They need to clear this up. But moving forward, it says here, regardless of the method, all exits require the pilot to maintain a stabilized hover. And the costume individual to follow strict pre-planned safety protocol. So, if I'm in a costume and I'm prepared to jump out of the helicopter, are they going to give me a week's worth of time of a crash course? Or are they just going to tell me all this information over the cell phone? Press 1 for instructions on how to safely jump out of a helicopter in a full-on costume. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to press 1. But that won't help. That will not help. Safely exiting a hovering helicopter while wearing a costume, often referred to as a hover exit, requires specialized maneuvers and strict adherence to safety protocols to manage the risk posed by bulky attire and the aircraft's downward air pressure. Now we're talking about more problems. We have the 3 airplane blades to why I don't know why a helicopter need 3 rotors when a boat has 1. And a helicopter is way smaller than an airplane. So what are we really doing here with all of this hardware? And then in addition to that, AI overview just slipped in here talk about some watch out for the downward air pressure. Downward air pressure? Turn down for what? Turn down for what? You gonna be turning down for real? You gonna be turning down for... No, my goodness, help her! That's the kind of turn down you don't want. Yes, it is too early, Jay. That's why I'm probably developing a soft headache. Thank you for just showing support. Hey, LA, it's nice to see you in the chat, girl. How you doing? My clone is here. Just showing support. Thank you for coming in. So that's not the turn down I want. This is horrible. Standard hovered exit procedures, known as STEP. Y'all, this is getting too long. It's too much to remember. They've got, what is it called? Acronyms now. The STEP. Standard hovered exit procedures. What does this have to do with me jumping out of a helicopter in a costume? Y'all, they bringing this some heavy artillery up into here. How do people wearing a costume get safely harnessed out of a hovering helicopter? Military and search and rescue team. Why are we talking about military search and rescue teams? Now y'all making this seem like when I jump out of this thing, I'm not gonna make it. When I'm watching football It still makes me a tinge bit sad when I see the ambulance always on the ready because they just know somebody is going to get hurt. That is not reassuring. It's safer if the helicopter is hovering, I think. A hovering helicopter with knives for fan blade close to the people don't sound all that assuring to me. I think I'd rather you have your knives of a fan blade in the sky away from me. Floom, 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 floom. All I'm seeing and hearing is slice, 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 slice 1,000, slice 2,000. Thank you guys for helping me try to figure this out. I'm trying to figure this out. I want to tell y'all something really quickly. If you do want to go back to school and continue your education, and if you get the luxury of getting ready to write anything you want to because it's got to be 500 pages or more, expand your mind. Use this video as a case study, and I'll guarantee you by listening to me, you will have your 500 pages for your college presentation so you can pass the class. I heard the blades make many... Jay, you not making this any better. I heard the blades make many sonic booms. That's why they make that noise. And do you think I want that lightly hovering around me or the audience? It's bad enough if I'm at the Super Bowl. I got to hear all the people hollering and screaming in my ear, go, go, oh, go. And you have the cowbells, and the people with the air horns, and the drunk people, and then I got to deal with, what did you say? Many sonic booms from a helicopter. I don't know if people powing. I don't know if I'm supposed to get down. I don't know if I'm supposed to be excited that my team scored. I don't know what I'm supposed to be feeling. And just my luck, they catch me on the camera, the big old screen cam for all the world to see while I'm at the Super Bowl, and the ball of confusion looking like this. That would be my 1 minute to fame. They'll be like, looks like she's having the seizure. And then the paramedics come take me away. And I'm like, no, it's not like that. And they're like, sure, for medical procedures, we need to take you away from the Super Bowl game that I spent thousands of dollars to sit on because y'all think I'm having the seizure. No, we got sonic booms from the helicopters. No thanks to Jay. We got drunk people hollering in the stands. We got people with air horns, fog horns, sound horns, people hollering and screaming, jumping on the bleachers, making all this noise at the Super Bowl game. And in addition to that, I'm trying not to spill my nachos. And y'all say the people out on the field playing the game have a lot to worry about. No, it's us. We, the people watching y'all play, we have more to worry about than the football people. All y'all doing is running back and forth, running from people for dear life, hoping that the man chasing you won't break your leg this time because you're going to be out for the season and Christmas is around the corner. We have more than 10 things to worry about while we're out there in those bleachers trying to show our support. But you don't see the news talking about that. And in addition, a t-shirt cannon. I only lived in the hard part of town for 3 or 4 years out of my life. And then we moved to what was called the alleged suburbs for African American people. So if a t-shirt cannon went to booming into the sky, I'm gonna be like, I'm supposed to get down, right? Because that's what TV told me. So I don't know what's going on. And then, like I said, I have to protect my nachos. It's just too much, y'all. It's just too much. Shouts out to all the people who are going to go to the football game, the Super Bowl this year. All of the lists that I provided for you for the Subway or for the Super Bowl, y'all have some tough skin. It's just too much. Strong winds. That's the only thing. When I first started this live almost 1 hour ago, when I first started this live stream about 50 minutes ago, my only concern was the high winds from Mother Nature. Soon as I rolled into the first sentence, AI overview was like, high winds from the helicopter blades. I'm like, what? Good morning, Shy. How you doing? Thank you for coming in and thank you so much. Bam. I was only concerned about Mother Nature's winds, but it started off talking about the winds from the helicopter blades. I'm like, y'all, I didn't factor that in. I'm not tall. So what does the helicopter wind have to do with me? The wind is way up there. Wind don't blow down from a helicopter. It blows wherever the blades are at. So if the blades from a helicopter are on top of the helicopter, why am I concerned? Because I'm underneath the helicopters. Blades, right? Which is why I'm not teaching science class. I'll be like those teachers on those comedy shows. I'm the substitute teacher for the science class of biology. Hey y'all, how y'all doing today? I'm your substitute teacher. Everybody pass. I ain't gonna teach y'all none of this stuff because I'm just gonna mess y'all up anyways. Just be quiet. Watch stuff on your phone. Don't cause me no trouble. I'll let y'all get back to your science class when your teacher comes. Oh man, I saw your comment, Trey. Thank you for that. I actually love those types of teachers. I did too when I had substitute teachers because it was a free day and I just, you're in school and like I'm struggling right here at 5:56 in the morning trying to figure out the downward winds of a helicopter, trying to figure out how to jump out of a helicopter in a costume. What's going on? Chill. Hey, you always coming in at the right time. High five. Bam. So Chile, I'm trying to figure out how to safely jump out of a helicopter in the full costume. And AI Overview is doing its hardest to convince me not to do it. It's going to tell me I have to watch out for the winds of the helicopter blade. And number 2, it's talking about some jumping out of the helicopter in a full costume and landing into some water. Who's landing into some water in the full costume? Comprised with what if they did this for Super Bowl? Back to Super Bowl. Chile, it's just hard out here for you, girl. This was supposed to be a simple live. Hey. And every time I say it's supposed to be a simple live, it turns into exactly, it just won't work. But why is AI Overview providing us ways that it can work? Fix it, Felix, fix it. Now we are on the part where it's not giving me any discomfort because it's talking about military search and rescue teams. I'm like, why are we talking about military search and rescue teams after all I asked was how to safely jump out of the helicopter? So by it saying military search and rescue teams, that means that they don't think I might even make it. I might not even make it out of this one. Which led me to wonder how come when I watch football games, why the ambulance is always there? Because they just know one of the players gonna get hurt. That's not assuring. No, it is pure evil. Search and rescue teams use single skid, toe in, and hover exit entry procedures known as STEP to offload personnel with the terrain. So now we turn from costume people to offload personnel. How are we conflating the two? So they think of the costume people as personnel and not people. I told y'all they're looking at us like we're not even to be acknowledged, like I did in that example. When AI Overview said the costume people, how to safely unload the costume people, I was like, they make it sound like it's a bad thing. Oh no, here comes the costume people. I don't want y'all sitting next to me. What does military have to do with helping a costume person jump out of a helicopter? The 3-tap signal for rescue personnel. The flight mechanic often gives 3 taps on the shoulder to signal it's safe to jump. Now, I'll take the 3-tap signal because AI Overview talked about you got to turn around and watch for them to let you know it's safe to jump out of the helicopter. How am I supposed to turn around to see anything if I'm in the costume? I can't half see. You mean to tell me I got to turn around in the costume like Ray Charles? I need to see when I can jump out of this helicopter. Baby, it's jumping now. Baby, I'm jumping out. Oh, baby, I'm jumping out. Jumping out the helicopter. Ah! Breaking news! Ray Charles jumps out of a helicopter in full costume. Well, we know how that went. Unfortunately, he's temporarily in the hospital. You don't say! I cannot see. Why would you instruct me to turn around to watch for a signal to let me know when it's okay to jump out of a helicopter? So having said that, I am here for the military procedure on how to wait for the 3 taps on the shoulder. I can count that high. 1, 2, 3. Jump! I got it. Okay, so let's go AI Overview. Now I see how you safely folding in the military techniques and how to be in a full-on ensemble costume and jump out of a helicopter. I got it now. I did the jump dozens of times and I can teach you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an expert on the platform. If you have any additional helicopter questions, ask your boy Tarsus down in the comments and he will gladly tell you how to safely jump out of a helicopter and leave unscathed. 3-tap signal for race personnel. The flight mechanic often gives 3 taps on the shoulder to signal it is safe to jump out. I will take that for $1. Crouched movement. Once out, individuals must stay in a crouched position to maximize clearance from the spinning rollerblades. You lost me. And now I'm back to being scared. Just when what does that commercial say, y'all? When they're playing the commercials like on TNT, when they're about to play the What is that movie called? You come to me on my daughter's wedding day to ask me for a request. The Godfather. Like in the summertime when TNT or AMC is running their Godfather marathon. They played this scene. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Just when I thought I was out, AI pulls me back in. Just when I thought I was about to start feeling safe on jumping safely out of a helicopter in a full-on costume, it's going to say this. Y'all ready for the danger? Crouch movement. Once out, individuals must stay in the crouch position to maximize clearance from the spinning rotor blades. Spinning rotor blades. When I read that, all I thought of was an open blender. You know the blender that you use to make strawberry shakes? And it's got a blade at the bottom. All I can see now is me jumping out of a helicopter in my costume, and it's just me jumping out of a blender, a whole bunch of blades. This is crazy. Costumes, I need something to drink. I just cannot roll into the next. I'm getting dizzy. There's a whole nother section to read. What more do you want from me? Cue the ugly cry. You want to talk about information overload? Y'all, this is just too much information. This is just too much information. And I'm typing that too. ... and send. It's Kerry Washington crying face. I used to make my dad so upset because I can unfortunately make my face look really atrocious, making those really monstrous faces, and he would get so infuriated with me. He's like, why you got to make your face look like that and get so pretty? Well, at least I know I'm pretty. Stop doing that. So you know what I did? I continued to make those hideous faces. Oh man, I'm getting ready to break out my cereal. Yeah, y'all. Growing up in life, my parents focused on the wrong things. They didn't focus on if I was okay. They was focused on the wrong stuff. Like, you gonna make us look bad if you do that. You gonna make us look bad if you say that. I'm like, okay.
Cereal, anyone? Cereal?
Y'all, there's some more to read still. But I need a few pieces of cereal before I transition and read something else. This is just sad. It's got costume-specific safety measures. I think they should have led with that first. Wearing a costume introduces... The way this is going, I think we need a pamphlet. Pamphlet. P-H-A-M-P-H-L-E-T. Something like that. The H is silent. I'm like, if the H is silent in pamphlet, why are we even putting it in there? Wearing a costume introduces hazard-like sail area fabric, catching wind, or restricted visibility. It's just rolling in from one danger after the other. Securing loose items. Any loose parts of a costume. The whole costume is a loose item. So what are we really talking about here? Why don't you just put me in the cage and just lower me down like that? How about that? Then I don't have to then I don't have to worry about the fan blades, the downwinds, the upwinds, the side winds, the left, the right winds, none of the winds. I don't have to worry about any of the winds because I'm in the cage. You know, like in the Jaws movie, when they're going down there, dun, 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 oh my goodness, I hope he don't get me. But what's there to get because you're in a iron bars? It's not really gonna get you, except for when and if you stick your arms and legs and feet out of it. But who's really sticking their arms and legs out of a metal cage while getting lowered into the water to see Jaws? But you got to tell these people, because if you don't, you risk getting a lawsuit, and that's an easy money grab. So, did you tell them to keep their arms and legs in before getting lowered into a sea of sharks in the cage?
No.
I'll rest my case. Moving forward, my cool people. This got here. Securing loose items. Any loose part of a costume, such as capes, hoods, oversized props, must be firmly secured or removed to prevent them from being sucked into the rotors or blown away. Sucked into the rotors or blown away. So if you have a cape on, you have to take the cape off, or you're basically not gonna make it. Harness system. If the exit is part of a professional stunt or rescue. If I'm not a professional, but if the exit is part of a professional stunt or rescue, performers may use the screener suit, evacuation harness to stabilized body rig to be safely lifted or lowered vertically via a hose. Well, what about us? What about us? I want the special harness too. Okay, I'm just a regular person. So you're not going to waste your fancy smincy $1,000 equipment on me? I have to be a professional or a stunt or rescue person in order to receive the stabilized body rig to assure that no matter what happens, I'm going to be all right. I'm canceling my vacation package to jump out of a helicopter this summer because y'all don't even care. Cue Michael Jackson.
What about us? What about us? Who? Who? What about us? Who should know how?
I know that's right. That's not fair. It's not fair. Cosplay handlers. For elaborate costumes, handlers or wranglers are often used on the ground to assist the person immediately upon exiting. Once again, for regular people like you and I, we get no special privileges. All we get is the guarantee that an ambulance will be waiting for us if we make it to dry land. And I say if, because of the high winds accidentally getting sucked back into the fan blades, or a gust of wind blow me away from my target zone in a freak accident, I might not even make it to my target spot. How many times have they said wind? Winds of change, iron steel winds, heavy winds, upwinds, downwinds, left, right, side winds. I might not even make it down back to earth. But you can be reassured, in a certain parameter, there will be an ambulance waiting for me. But as I continue to read, everybody else gets special treatment. Handlers or wranglers are often used on the ground to assist the person immediately upon exiting. So I'm down here landing off of the helicopter, disorientated. And then I land on dry land, solid ground, and I'm all woozy. I'm dizzy, I'm confused, and I'm in the costume. I can hardly see. You mean to tell me there's not going to be anybody there to assist me to getting back to the changing room? I got to walk 40 miles after I landed disoriented off of a helicopter, 40 miles to the changing room by myself. You don't know where I'm landing at. I could be landing in a patch of grass or in the woods. I could get eaten up by a coyote. Nobody's going to help guide me back to the changing room. Nobody's going to guide me safely to the stage. I'm on my own. Because the ambulances are going to carry me there. They only have one job. When and if I get hurt, then they report to the call of duty. Outside of that, I'm walking around like this. Help me. I'm sweating. Help me, please. Somebody. Hey. This is not working out for me. This is not it. This is not it. So they will be there to assist the person, and they call them a person. They call us costume people. They don't give us any dignity. Handlers and wranglers will be there to assist the person. But if I'm jumping out of a helicopter in a costume, they call us costume people. I got greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, lambs, rams, hogs, dogs, chickens, turkeys, rabbits. You name it. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Ah, thank you. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. I know, right? This whole live stream was not supposed to be this way. Oh man, it is not supposed to be this way. No, man, I tell you, this is a sad shame. They don't care about us regular people jumping out of an airplane in costume. They just gonna leave us there to fend for ourselves. Which brings me back to how we have to fend for ourselves when we are standing or sitting in those uncomfortable bleachers at the Super Bowl game while people hollering and carrying on. We have to fend for ourselves. Not to mention people might be fighting in the background. This is sad. Critical rules for all exits. Once again, the timing of the instructions are late. I've already jumped out of the helicopter and I'm slowly falling out of the helicopter. And they're like, by the way, here's some critical rules for your exiting. I'm like, what? You mother, I'ma get you. Wait till I land, y'all. I'm punching up in the sky, falling out of the helicopter backwards. You wait to tell me how to boom, boom, do this now. Ah, boom. Wait till I get out of the hospital. I'm gonna come back and get all y'all. I'm putting cases on you. You, all y'all. Story of my life, y'all. You wait to tell me the important news after the fact when it's entirely too late. A thankless job. I'm so happy to provide y'all with laughs. You got me laughing, nursing this the same way. I was a what you call it, a HHA for like 5 minutes. HHA is not an insurance plan. I was a home health aide for 5 minutes. I had a couple of clients. I did what I could. One of my clients was starting to ask for too much and was beginning to pay too little. The other one didn't seem like they necessarily needed to be on Social Security. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do to assure granddaddy's check is coming through. So I never said anything about that. You know, I'm like, he kind of moving pretty well. I don't see disability nowhere, but hey, get that check, you know. Just give me my payment. I'll clean the house, whatever, and then get on out the way. So, yes, I'm sorry that that's happening to you. If they treated the nurses and all that right, I probably would have went into that field, because senior citizens are really cool. Taking care of people is fun. But when they start walking all over you and be like, here's your $2 payment, I'm like, where's the rest of my money? Oh, taxes. And then they start making up all these fees that don't have nothing to do with nothing. I'm putting cases on you. you and the cafeteria lady gonna get something too. Moving forward. We've got crucial rules for all exits. Something they should have told me before I started falling out of the helicopter in my full costume. Now that sounds like a bar. Falling out the chopper in my full costume. This time next year, that probably will be in some rapper song, and they gonna be like, I thought of it myself, but they got it from me, so I'm gonna have to go to court, and you know, I'm gonna get a bag, and then I'm gonna be back on here like, yeah, I told y'all that was gonna happen. Stick with me, and I'll show you the ways. Good morning. Thank you for coming in. It is 6:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for your girl. I am in Georgia, the state, not the university. Avoid the rear. Never walk towards the tail of the helicopter. More instructions. What makes you think I'm going to remember all that? I cannot even write it on my hand because I'm in full costume. Never walk toward the tail of a helicopter. The tail rotor is a major hazard. So why don't y'all put some covers over it? Even the blades in the, what do you call it, in wood shop have plastic coverings over a blade. You mean to tell me y'all cannot put some type of plastic awning or buffer around these helicopter blades to prevent this stuff? If they could do that in a wood shop, with a roll-off saw or a band saw or a miter saw, all of the saws, when I go in there, I see plastic covers around the blade. You cannot do that with a helicopter. Y'all cheaping out. Maintain sight lines. How can I maintain sight lines when I'm in a costume and can barely see? Exit towards the 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock positions relative to the nose. So the point, wait a minute, what? Now y'all bringing math and stuff into this. Not only do I have to worry about jumping out of a helicopter in the costume, I can barely see. I have to worry about the fan blades. It's like multiple fan blades with multiple winds that I have to deal with, in addition to Mother Nature's wind. And then y'all want me to talk about envision a clock with the hands on 10 and 2? How can I properly envision a clock with the hands on the 10 and the 2 and I'm spinning out of control out of the helicopter, falling down like this? 10 and 2 is everywhere, so I'm gonna lose. Y'all are really trying to set your girl up for failure. Story of my life. Another day in the life of being black. Be sure to exit towards the 10 and the 2 o'clock positions relative to the nose to the pilot. No, so the pilot can see you at all times. How can the pilot see me at all times when the door is behind the pilot? Be sure to jump out of the helicopter in a full costume, but make sure the pilot sees me. How is the pilot going? break down. Mariah Carey, girl, help me. I'm breaking down. This comes a point in time, if I was a manager, having to help answer all these helicopter questions, I'd be like, just don't get on the helicopter. Ain't nobody getting on this helicopter. There's too many questions with few little answers. Don't nobody get on this airplane. Everybody, sit down. The field trip, the vacation is canceled.
No! We ain't going nowhere this summer. I hate all y'all. We ain't going nowhere. Y'all asking too many questions. That's what happens when you ask too many questions.
How come I'm in here for an hour and 20 minutes still trying to figure this out? Don't chase items. If a piece of the costume, like a hat or a prop, blows away, never run after it. Automatic reflex says time at the time. When you are playing basketball in your mama Nim's neighborhood on a warm Sunday day. Don't care how old you are, how seasoned you are, how many years on planet Earth you live, and you've seen many things. Impulse goes to show when you playing basketball and the ball runs towards the street, you automatically go towards it still. So why you gonna tell me don't chase after the prop when it's naturally apparent that we're gonna chase after the basketball going towards the street, and it's gonna take us at least 6 to 5 seconds to snap out of it and stop it if it's not too late. Thank you for the compliment, guys. This is just not adding up. I don't play basketball well enough to save my life, but when I was dribbling the basketball, when I was in my late teens, early 20s, there have been many times when I chased after the basketball towards the street with oncoming traffic because I just forget. I'm just wrapped up in the game. And I'm not thinking about cars. I'm thinking about getting the basketball. In addition to the fact that I paid $25 for it, and I don't have time for it to get smushed because that's $25 that I just spent on something that's supposed to give me at least a 2-year guarantee. And I don't have the receipt, so I won't be able to take it back. So whoever hit the basketball, we gonna have to square up in these streets. Right now, I'm jumping on the hood of the car. You deflated my basketball. I need $25 before you pass this property. Do I have a basketball emoji? BASKETBALL. I can spell basketball. Bam! Basketball is not 2 words, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Pop your collar. Basketball is 1 word. Thank you so much for the compliment. Thank you so much. So, as I continue to get lost in the sauce of how to safely jump out of a helicopter in a full-on costume, AI Overview is doing this big one, but not assuring me that there is a safe way to do this. And the only safe way to do this is if you are a somebody meaning a stunt devil. What was the other fancy schmancy word they use? Let's just say you gotta be a stunt devil or someone of importance to receive the full-on package for your helicopter care. But for the rest of us, you barely get a prayer. You just get an ambulance down there on the ground waiting for you. And just my luck, the ambulance be like, we got to stop right here because your insurance don't cover us driving you this far. So you gonna have to either walk the rest of the way to the hospital or call an Uber to take you there. I'll take you there.
Help me! Help me!
I'll take you there.
Help me! I'll take you there.
Story of my life. Insurance ran out in the middle of me getting shuttled to the hospital. They had to stop the ambulance. Take me out of the ambulance. Left me there. Told me to call an Uber to carry me the rest of the way. They left me in the woods, and it's about to get dark. I jumped out of a helicopter, broke my leg, laying out in the woods. I'm like, come on, Lord. I know they say that you don't give me more than I can bear. But how much can a bear bear? How much can a bear bear, Lord? I'm laying out here in the woods, stretched out in the costume, with a broken leg, in the woods, and it's dark, and I hear wolves, and I'm black, and wolves like to eat on dark meat. I'm gonna, guess I'm about to get ready to go to the sweet by and by. I can hear as I get ready to get eaten by wolves. I begin to look back over my life. And think things over. As Phil Collins' Take Me Home starts to sing.
Take me home, but I don't remember. Take me home.
Here come the wolves, y'all. I'm like, well, it's been a H of a ride, Lord. Just my luck, I might accidentally miss heaven. So, I'm floating up. I see the pearly gates. I'm like, I think I might make it. Then I hear a bumper. I'm like, oh, no. Bumper. I'm sorry, your insurance plan doesn't cover one-way entry into heaven. Into the flames I go. It's a nightmare, y'all. You mean I went to hell because my insurance don't cover access to heaven? No wonder these rich people siphoning money. They trying to buy their way into heaven. No wonder everybody pockets looking a little thin. I done figured it out. I told you, if you stick with me, LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. I will guarantee you the truth. It's the sad truth. Not only did I jump out of a helicopter, fell out, broke my leg, hospital had to stop transporting me to the hospital because my insurance ran out. They dropped me in the woods, went almost to heaven, got turned away, locked out of heaven, like Bruno Mars, because my insurance didn't cover one-way access. So just like, what's his name? Just like the singer who sang Coffee in the, just like Miguel. Guess I'm going to hell. Dun, dun, I know. Dun, 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 dun. That's a sad shame. All this came from me wanting to know one honest question. What if I wanted to put this on? Well, what if I wanted to add this to my list of things I want to do on my life? Well, jumping out of a helicopter in a costume is not going to be one, because I done talked myself right out of that. Just talking about me breaking my leg and getting left out in the woods for wolves. It's not worth the risk. This is how you logically think things through before you make a life-changing decision. Play it out through your mind before you say yes or no. But the trick in that is sometimes you don't have time. So what you gonna do then? Oh, what you gonna do? Dun, 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 when the well runs dry. Dun, 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 something, dun, dun, dun. You're gonna wonder why. There was a comedian, I think it was Bruce, when he came on Comic View on BET. He had this song that played when he walked out on the stage, and that was some of the words. It was really cool, and he would dance and stuff. But guys, I haven't even made it through this article. I haven't even touched on celebrities, nothing. Although it's in the title, I'm still hovering on the fact of how to safely jump out of a helicopter in a costume. All roads lead home. In this regard, all roads lead to no, I'm not jumping out of a helicopter. I liked Comic View. I had to sneak and watch it, of course, but when I did, Comic View on BET was very inspiring to me, because I am silly. So watching that also showed me other ways to deliver my delivery when I'm talking, when I'm trying to get a point across. Now, I may not know big words like the rich people, but I know how to express myself when I'm trying to get a point across. For example, if I'm at the mall and the woman keep asking me, do you need anything? How can I do this in a professional way? I don't need anything. You don't have to ask anymore. But thank you. Oh, okay. Yeah, she never gonna come back. I had to learn stuff like that on TV without being too cross before she want to call security and be like, she's being aggressive. She probably still say I'm aggressive, but not aggressive enough to call security. Good mercy, y'all. This is a sad shame. I only being on. Oh, y'all, I just sound like Porky Pig. I believe. Only being on here for a couple minutes. I have to go to the ladies' room really quickly. I am so sorry. Apologizing for going to the bathroom. Hold on. That's not an I. That's an exclamation point. I have to run to the potty. BRB. Sorry. Hang on, y'all. Y'all, and my legs falling asleep. I be sitting down here on the floor. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Now, how in the world did that get right there? Y'all, I think those... How did that get right there? I don't even remember putting that... Oh, I'm back. I'm missing something. Where's my snacks? Got it. Bye, Tarsus. See you later. He probably already gone, but I'm still gonna put bye-bye and thank you for coming in. Y'all, it's tomorrow where Tarsus is at. It's like tomorrow. So today is Thursday for us. It's Friday for them already. So it'd be nice that, you know, he be coming in at their time because it's really late where he is. Thank you so much for coming in, for stopping in, and good to see you. And put a trophy there. Regardless of the fact, I still responded to Tarsus's message. I am back from the potty, and I have some, where is it? I have some leftover popcorn too. Y'all, I had no idea this topic was gonna get out of hand and take so long. It's fine by me because I'm not rushing or anything, but help us all. I am still stuck on the helicopter of it all. I have my tab open for the celebrity stuff, so I've definitely had to remind myself to touch on that at the end. At the end of me figuring out how to at the end of me figuring out how to safely jump out of a helicopter in a full-on costume. Cosplay handlers. For elaborate costume handlers or wranglers are often used on the ground to assist the person immediately upon exiting, ensuring they do not trip or get hit by the rotor wash while their vision is obstructed. Like I said, they don't help the regular people, but they sure help the stunt devils and the rich people. Avoid the rear, maintain line of sight. This is where I went off in the tangent. I wasn't even able to finish the last bullet point because I started talking about jumping out of the helicopter, breaking my leg, and the insurance running out. All because of this line right here. Don't chase items. If a piece of the costume, like a hat or a prop, blows away, never run after it. I'm falling out of a helicopter. How do you run in the air? Who's ever setting up these instructions need to be let go. Because if a piece of the costume, like a hat or a prop, blows away, never run after it. I cannot run after it. I'm falling out of the helicopter. I'm in the sky. You don't run in the air. So there's no way I can run after it as I fall out of the sky. What the H, people? Race for your life, Charlie Brown. Oh, goodness. I tell you, people, just help me make this make sense. Help me make this make sense. I don't want to spill my cereal. I have 2 snacks open here. Never run after it. Chasing items can lead to accidental contact with the rotor blades. These safety guides offer detailed procedures for approaching and departing helicopters. Departing. Now I got to worry about the airplane taking off while I'm on the ground. You mean to tell me the pilot don't have the senses enough to look out for me? I'm still having to look out for the pilot? That you're not looking out for me? Not only am I landed on the helicopter disoriented, now I have to keep in mind to watch out for the helicopter. They supposed to be watching out for me. The helicopter is bigger than me. I'm smaller than the helicopter. Gonna have the guard say, watch out for the helicopter. Boy, good morning to you. High five. Bam. Y'all, these instructions are sad. I think we all need to come together and rewrite the safety pamphlet for how to safely jump out of a helicopter while wearing a costume. Because this isn't it. Not at all. The only thing I like out of this so far that I read that made the most sense was the military tactics of saying the 3 taps on the shoulder means jump out. Everything else is unacceptable. Capital unacceptable. These safety guides offer detailed procedures for approaching and departing helicopters, including precautions for costume wearers. At least they call this costume wearers and not costume people. It's still a sad shame. Hey y'all, how you doing today? You know, I'm already approaching the 2nd hour. And I've come to my conclusion regarding this whole jumping out of a helicopter in a full costume thing. Don't do it. Not while you're in the air. However, if I still want to kind of have my cake and eat it too in the safe way, I could be in a full costume, helicopter turned off, and nobody near it, but just keep the door open, and I can pretend I've jumped out. That's as good as it's going to get. That's as good as it's going to get, y'all. I don't want the pilot hovering nowhere near around it because he might accidentally turn it on, and then I'm like, don't you know that we're not doing this? Don't nobody have time for that. Good morning to all y'all. Thank you so much. So my conclusion is that I'm going to set the cereal to the side really quickly because I might spill it. I'm munching on popcorn right now anyway. So y'all, I have 2 snacks today. I thought about potato chips, but I'm going to have the potato chips for after the live. And I'll have my popcorn and my dry cereal on now while I chat with you guys. Is there any more information? AI Overview really did a good job finding information for me. I have so much to go off of. I'm not leaving y'all, but I'm just wrapping up this particular topic. I had so much to go off of, so much to go by, and it just really took me aback because I'm like, dude, I wasn't expecting all this. Y'all, this was supposed to be a 5-minute question. Well, a 5-minute segment that turned into almost 2 hours. I'm rolling back to the top of here. I'm going to minimize this page and get ready to, I'm not leaving, and get ready to roll into the next topic. But before I do that, I want to check some things behind the scenes and give myself a little breather before I just roll into the next topic. You know, I got to breathe like a teacher, and I need to adjust how I'm sitting. I got to find me another pillow. That's what I need. I need a more comfortable pillow when I sit here. So I'll have to go to Dollar General. I want a cute pillow. Dollar General be having cute throw pillows, so something cute and tiny. I'm thinking purple and pink, and that'd be perfect for me, so I could be even more comfortable when I sit back here. It's a tiny area, but it's really comfortable, so I like it. There we go. You guys, thank you so much for coming in and subscribing. Once again, I'm not leaving, but while you're here, I do want to say thank you. And I'm getting back on track meeting. I'm using this small amount of time to switch gears into the next topic, which is the female celebrity news anyways, because I'm a girl and I want to see what's going on ever so slightly. Not too much with the juicy gossip stuff, but like, what are they doing? What are you doing? On the positive note, you guys, this popcorn is so good. I don't think I've had, if I did, it's been so long. It's movie theater butter popcorn from Walgreens. My husband bought me some popcorn before the storm hit, He asked us all if there was anything we wanted. And of course, as usual, you can never have enough microwave popcorn in general. So I asked for some more popcorn just in case. I don't want to run out of popcorn, y'all. It's a sad day for LA when she runs out of popcorn in the pantry. So yeah, I got some popcorn from Walgreens in this movie butter theater or movie theater. How do you say it? Movie theater butter, and it is good. Kettle corn is fun to eat. I call kettle corn popcorn circus food because they serve that kind of popcorn at the circus. You know, well, when I was going to the circus, that's the only popcorn they serve. Yeah, the sweet popcorn. Circus popcorn. And I also like making my own. That's fun too. You get you a nice skillet, get you a nice cast iron skillet or a real nice pot, sturdy pot. You put the oil in there. You get you a nice chunk of butter. Let the butter melt and brew in there. And then you pour in a cup, or was it a half a cup of popcorn? And the popcorn will pop and fly. It is so good. It's so fun and it's very inexpensive. So yes. Another reason, guys, that's why I like popcorn is because it's inexpensive. Like oatmeal. It's still relatively expensive and you can eat a lot of it. And don't feel guilty because like you broke the bank. It's oatmeal. You can get it from Dollar Tree. So who's here for it? Your girl. I'm getting ready to put some popcorn in the chat right now. And I miss the circus, honestly. I haven't been to the circus in years. But every time I went, I've enjoyed it. Even though it's predictable, it's still something fun to do. To just sit out in the audience and you really don't have to worry about anything because you know the programming is going to be family oriented. There's no stress, there's no pressure, there's no worries. You can actually kick back with the fam and just be having side conversations, just getting out of the house. And it's relatively inexpensive. At least I'm basing the circuses on when I grew up. And when I got older into my early adulthood, I still went to the circus sometimes when I could afford it. Or if I had time because I was working all the time. So it's a great way to just kick back and laze. I don't like oatmeal. Oh, he don't like oatmeal, y'all. I'm telling. Hey, y'all. Y'all get up here and read this comment. He said he don't like oatmeal.
Who said that?
Come look. Here they come.
Not Jay Brown. You don't like oatmeal? What's wrong with you?
Leave him alone.
He doesn't like oatmeal, but he likes oatmeal cream pies. That's close enough. I'm out of here. Bella, stop making things so difficult. Whatever. What's wrong with him? Why do you not like oatmeal?
To each his own. Go sit down. But I told. They read your comment. They're probably getting ready to go figure out why you don't like oatmeal. Pancakes are awesome. Yes, I'm friends with Hercules the shark. In fact, we talked on the phone yesterday. He's got some plans coming up, so be ready for them. He's keeping his word. Last week he was in the live stream, and he said that he was going to make a Hercules the Shark karaoke video part 2, and he already picked out his song, so he's serious. So he's committed to his word. So after the Hercules the Shark comes on tomorrow, it's gonna be you guys are gonna be redirected automatically into his karaoke video that he did.
It's okay, whatever. I just never heard that. It's like, how do you not like oatmeal? That's just like saying I don't like to eat rice.
Girl, please sit down. I don't even know why I told y'all that. Hercules can be the new Rockadoodle.
Rockadoodle.
No, he was saying Chanticleer. He took me out. He's like,
Chanticleer. Chanticleer. Chanticleer.
Okay, sit down. Yeah, so thank you guys for asking about Hercules the Shark. He's doing great. I spoke with him over the phone, and he is locked and loaded to release his karaoke video tomorrow. Fish Fry Fridays with Hercules your shark. Hercules the Shark, your boy, back by popular demand. Got to talk with him on the phone. Everybody's doing fine. So, we are practically 2 hours into the live stream. And I titled this originally. This title was called Female Celebrity News, Freestyle Fridays. But you know me, one idea leads to the other. And the one thought that I just could not let go of was, how do you jump out of a helicopter safely while in costume? Had no idea it was going to turn into a whole thing, a whole 2-hour video